Hey guys, Tara here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Crossroads, playing for spawning in the north. We have Heroicserv4nt as Ostia, and who's straight away locked in elite troops, currently rank 35 Ostia. In the south we have Dave as the US Forces, who has tactical support, armor company, and heavy cavalry. Dave currently rank 5 US Forces. Dave, I'm not sure if this is Classy Dave or Space Marine Dave. I imagine it is though. Anyway, just also reading the chat here. Captain David. Either way, Dave doesn't have that many 1 games. Got a lot of 2v2 games though. I think Classy David used to play a lot of 2s though. Anyway, getting back to the action. Dave going straight for heavy cav. Usually as US Forces, I mean, heavy cavalry doesn't offer you that much in the early game. You know, I suppose you can make use of the sandbags and the mines early, but most players generally don't. You don't want to be sitting around with your rifleman for too long, trying to put up mines or sandbags in the early game. So there's not really any reason to select heavy cavalry this early. And it does show off your options. Maybe if you have a really bad start, you want to go for some M10s. It's not an option if you lock in heavy cavalry, so that's why I'd suggest just wait until you're around that, 7 or 8 CP mark, and you decide, oh, okay, I don't need the M10s, so now I'll lock it in. But that is not the approach we're seeing from Dave. He's got 3 riflemen so far. Nothing too out of the ordinary from either player. Well, speaking of out of the ordinary, here comes a munitions cache onto this cutoff. Wasn't expecting that. This is Crossroads, of course. Very high resource map to start off with, and especially munitions. Quite hard to harass this back here. This cutoff is also quite hard for your opponent to actually secure. So you don't get cut off from your munitions that much. Fuel quite a bit, but not munitions. So this is a curious decision on this map in particular. You can see he's got a bit of a map strategy here, wiring off this approach. Heroicserv4nt. This was a pretty smart move, backing away. Now we can fight heavy cover to garrison cover. Heavy cover having a slight advantage. Flamethrower pops, and Dave going for a fighting position. Pops out just before the flamethrower hits, but he's got to get out of there with those riflemen. Oh my god, he's cutting it so close here. Why is he soft retreating with his pioneers? Makes no sense. If he'd stuck around there for one more flame burst, might have been able to pick them up. Oof, that flamethrower dishing it out, and he could be about to lose his pioneer here. Oh, the stun grenade! Wipes. Remember, garrison cover does not help against grenades. And as you can see, this is very tightly formed. You see every unit super close together, whereas in a building, if somebody throws a grenade, it's only really going to hit maybe 3 models without any meaningful damage. But in a fighting position, it's going to smash you. And I think, I'm not sure how much stun grenades do. I think it's like it's either 20 or 40 damage. It's not a huge amount. It's not like a full 80 wipe. But if that squad was already low, which it was from those 2 flamethrower bursts, very easy to get a wipe, as we just saw.
Is being overrun.
Looks like some grenadiers making a push here. Quite hard to defend this here because you obviously don't get any heavy cover, but he's soft retreating to this heavy cover, and as the grenadiers approach, he's eventually going to lose this. Looks like maybe he's going to just hold the line here. Oh, ooh. Oh, another stun grenade. Yeah, must be 40 damage, right? From the amount of damage it looks like it did there. Which is about half their health.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Do see some stormtroopers being deployed. Seems like Elite Troops has got a lot more popular since the patch. Largely because of the G43 upgrade, I think. G43s on stormtroopers have received some buffs. Stun grenade. Ooh, dodge that time by Dave. Doesn't get the wipe. Should be able to win this engagement though. His Grenadier squad quite low. Got that bar on the lieutenant. Same time here, Dave putting down a mine on his opponent's fuel. Perhaps going to be interrupted by the MG. Perhaps not. I don't think. Oh, he can see it. Maybe he was just in the line of sight there of the circle. In which case, it's not a good idea to put down the that mine at all.
Our supply line just got cut off.
But you can see how long it takes riflemen to plant mines. It's forever. It's one of the reasons why it's not overpowered. Here comes Team 20. Seems a bit late to me. Remember, he did invest in both a munitions cache and a fighting position. I think that's about 300 manpower. So that's going to delay your M20 quite a ways. Allow Heroicserv4nt to get his way to the tier 2. In fact, he's already got that down. Could easily have filled himself a 222 by now, and I personally probably would have gone for it over those stormtroopers, but there you go. Especially on a map like this. Still haven't seen any US players go for the A half track yet. I haven't got to play US Forces myself yet, so I'm not sure how it performs. First, the new and upgrade 222. Dave trying to go for another mine there, just to cancel that.
A capture point is under attack.
222 in production now to respond to that M20. M20 got a mine down. I'm not sure if that was spotted, but it's a pretty good spot for a mine. And because Heroicserv4nt's gone for a flamethrower, no minesweeper available. It's usually not too big of an issue against US forces, but as you can see here, Dave really trying to get those mines down from both his rifleman and his M20. So that lack of a sweeper is probably going to come back to bite Heroicserv4nt at some point in this match. Ambulance on the field for Dave. Dave's really having a bit of trouble securing his own fuel here. Now the 222's on the field. M20's got to be very careful. Remember, this doesn't come with the bazooka straight away. You have to upgrade the bazooka. So it's a bit more munitions gone for the US forces in the early game. Perhaps that's why I wanted the munitions cache. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, it's starting to float quite a lot of munitions now. Maybe it's time to go for a weapon upgrade. Yep, and right on cue. Here it comes. G43's on his stormtroopers first, so that probably is factoring into his decision making here. I thought medics weren't supposed to chase squads anymore. Oops. Oops, my microphone. Sit. There we go. Sorry about that. Looks like a mine was triggered over here, taking down 2 models of a Pioneer squad. So we did get a mine down there eventually. Now we've got a liberal spreading of bars. Looks like he's gone for one bar. He spent 180 munitions, so it should be 3 bars. Is that double bars on the lieutenant? Looks Looks like it. Stun grenade. Massive whiff on that one. I've got an MG42 for the Grenadiers. Which is probably... talked about that many times, but the Grenadier G43 did not receive an upgrade. So I think LMG Greens are a better matchup against Bar Riflemen than G43 Greens. Oh no, we've got some bazookas over here on these rear echelons. That's gonna give us M20 a bit more breathing room. Having that extra bit of anti-tank there. And it looks like Dave's taking a beat down in the centre here. All of Heroicservant's units in heavy cover. We've got a fresh squad of stormtroopers deployed as well. He's trying to snare it, but as soon as he left cover, he just took so much damage, he's going to have to retreat. Looks like he got stunned over here as well. And yeah, has to retreat, full retreat, and he's probably going to lose his munitions cache here. Continue to try and apply pressure onto this fuel. And yeah, down his cache. Down his cache goes. He's pretty heavily outnumbered here. Looking like, yeah, he's going to have to go for the... No, he's going for the major. Daring play by Dave. I thought maybe he's going to go for the captain, get that extra free squad, go for some team weapons. And then go straight for the Pershing, but it looks like he's going to go for that Sherman. Which is a bit of a surprise. Battle phase 2 in the works for Heroicservant. We've got quite a lot of fuel now. But are quite strapped for manpower. I think stormtroopers are reasonably expensive to reinforce. Oh, he squeaks around the side of that machine gun. In fact, he could lose this if he's unlucky. Bazooka hops out. Took a lot of damage on that utility car though. Oh! That was the bundle grenade. It didn't sound like a bundle grenade. Either way, it looks like 2 squads going to go down here for Dave. No. Needs to get this squad out into the retreat path. Oh, this is actually pretty large misplay from Heroicservant. Had the opportunity to get the squad out of the garrison, come here into the retreat path and secure the wipe, but didn't. I think he forgot about it. So Dave off to a really tough early game here. Definitely lost a lot more manpower than Heroicservant. We get to see... try and keep an eye on what the stormtrooper reinforcement cost is. Once they've completed their retreat. Go for a second. Oh, he's lost it. He's lost the squad pioneers now. Oh, flamethrower squad's gone. So that is a pickup for Dave. Calls in major artillery on the garrison. Reinforcement cost 33. Alright.
Our lines of supply are disrupted.
Could be worse. But, still pretty expensive though, honestly. It could cost him a bit of manpower as the game progresses. Looks like we're going to see a grenadier loss here. Did he forget about this? Seems like it. Extremely late retreat. So does that pull us back to just about level? Got 1 grenadier, 1 pioneer gone. Got 1 lieutenant and the rear echelon gone. Yeah, seems like we're pretty close to level pegging, but I suppose there was this and this loss as well, so that's another 300 manpower or so. So Heroicserv4nt probably still ahead. Takes the foul, suppose 2-2's way over here, can't finish, close the show on that M20. But it looks like could be another wipe here, a lot of bars. A lot of bars. Oh, he's got a flamethrower on that squad as well. There it goes. Another Grenadier squad. And this is really bad for Heroicserv4nt. I think before this happened, he probably should have started to recalibrate what he thought was an acceptable way to harass. Because it seems like he's going too deep with like one lone squad. Just getting wiped on retreat. Oof. Extremely close to another wipe there. I feel like he hasn't been using the 2-2 to its full potential as well. Well, he's got his tier 3 down, but as I was saying, I think go for that second squad stormtroopers, perhaps a mistake. Because it's heavily delayed his first tank. Could have had this out several minutes ago, probably. Really put a hurting on Dave if he had. Instead he went straight for a pack. I mean, if you've got the 2-2, if your opponent's got the M20, there's no reason to get a pack. Especially if you feel like, you know, you've cut your opponent off quite a lot. If applied quite a lot of pressure to his fuel. There's no reason to get a pack. Maybe if you're feeling really pressured, but you know, you need a bit of experience on telling how much fuel you have, how much fuel your opponent has. Fuel costs aren't so different. The lieutenant pathway in M20 is a bit cheaper, but
Tank destroyer is ready for orders.
you're not going to be too far behind if you've had this kind of early game like Heroicserv4nt. So yeah, go for the pack, probably a mistake. So you're going for a Panzer IV. Win the Panzer IV now, but there's a Jax on the field now for Dave, just completed. And that could be about to kill this 2-2-2. No, 2-2 pumps smoke. I think Jackson's top speed's a little bit less than 2-2's as well. Jackson is pretty fast, but so is 2-2-2. One thing that we haven't seen from Heroicserv4nt is S-mines. I feel like it's quite strong on this map in particular to put on your fuel, prevent it from being harassed. I think this squad has a sweeper as well. Yeah, 2 bazookas and a sweeper. Still pretty handy to prevent your fuel from being harassed. Oh, Panzer IV versus the M20, and he doesn't chase. Still got that M6 mine here. Now it seems like Dave's starting to get a bit more control after taking down all those squads in quick succession. Starting to claw his way back into this game. Population very similar between these two players, but you have to remember that Heroicserv4nt has some of that tied up in an anti-tank gun, whereas Dave has that in a mortar. So he should be winning these anti-infantry battles.
A capture point is being overrun. A capture point is under attack.
So we're settling in for a bit of a camp on each side. Turning into a bit of a battle for the central VP, as it often does at this stage of the game. Heroicserv4nt still has a lot of fuel, but really struggling for manpower. Going for another squad of pioneers. Kind of a surprise. Is he going for minesweepers? No, he's going for another flamethrower. So is he going to go for minesweepers on that new squad? Have we seen any of this command from Dave? I think he did get caught trying to plant mines. So that should be a bit of a giveaway. And was that smoke from the mortar? Not sure. I think so. I think he's calling it in again. No, he's using the barrage. Oh no, he's using the smoke. Such a long delay between actually landing there. Let me second guess my correct initial assessment. I think this is a bit of a misplay sending his squad out here not on full health. As I mentioned before, the reinforcement cost pretty high on these bad boys. Don't want to be sending them out on low to bleed that manpower. Just, you know, leave them in their base for a few extra seconds. This is very risky. Building super low. And that's an anti-tank gun for Dave. Ooh! Panzer IV taking a beat down there. Pack setting up. It's a shot off. Here goes the building. Stun grenades. Man, a lot of stuff going on all at once. Dave popping the commander's smoke, off-max smoke barrage onto the machine gun. Machine gun maybe was on attack move there, I'm not sure. Oh, this is too risky bringing the 222 here. If that was a Jackson, you know, with its 200 damage per hit, it would have been a dead 222, which is a bit of US forces squads. The major? The major's gone down? Oh no. Oh no. This is a bit of a shame though, honestly. Those recon planes the major gets at V2, pretty strong. Especially on a map like this, you can scout where your opponent's pack is, maneuver around it. Dave not going for another tank. Investing in team weapons, looks like he wants to save for the Pershing. Which I can understand, especially after the extra investment into the captain. There's far too many bars. U-20 still being pretty useful. Panzerfaust. Oh no. The model shooting the Panzerfaust died at the last second. Conceivable that he loses this here. Panzer IV is in the retreat, and it looks like that's one of those new camos. A bit of an army zoom going on there. Oh! He's having real trouble using this Panzer IV. Doesn't seem to be finding spots for it. And Jackson's on the hunt. Panzer IV has to pop smoke again. These Panzer IVs, man, they have not been up to much. And this is a pretty big push from Dave. Yeah, okay. Pop the incendiary rounds, but 50 cal suppresses it. Okay, this is better, sending out the stormtroopers on full health this time. Oh, they're taking a beat down from that 50 cal. Brought his anti-tank gun too far forward and he loses it. Let's bring his pack up a little bit perhaps. Oh, that 50 cal, man. doing work here. A lot of people complain about the 50 cal, but I think it's pretty good. You see it here too. Doing some good work. Oh, that Panzer IV shot! Monstrous. Squad gets wiped. The captain gets wiped. Needs to use his pack to kill this M1, I think. He's going to try and steal the M1. I don't think this is necessary. Don't think he needs another tank gun. I think he'd probably be better served by getting himself a Stug than stealing this M1. Because how is he going to kill the Jackson with the anti-tank gun? It seems very unlikely. Dave's micro of this pretty strong so far. Seems unlikely that he'll get it in the path of Heroicserv4nt's anti-tank guns. And Heroicserv4nt seems to be quite defensive with his anti-tank gun positioning so far. He hasn't really been bringing it out for like some really aggressive shots yet. So I don't think the M1 steal is going to help him too much here. I think a Stug would be better. Could perhaps chase down the Jackson for the final killing blow. Rather than, you know, just having something static. Stug probably also going to perform better against the Pershing once that hits the field. Good idea to get a little bit of veterancy so I can perhaps use the target weak point on the Pershing, which really comes in handy. Panzer IV once again not getting much action done. There's 50 cal already. Vet 1 really doing a good job securing the center for Dave. Just probably making Heroicserv4nt wish he had some form of indirect fire here. Sprints away with that 50 cal. Sits up again. No, the Maxim's coming in for some changes. And the GCS patch coming up at some stage. I think the 50 cal is just like one of the sleeper units at the moment. A lot of people underestimating it. Now he brings up his anti-tank gun at a pretty horrible time. Jackson loaded the armor-piercing rounds, trying to use attack round misses. He's sent all these squads out to the side here. Just leaving his anti-tank guns exposed. Oh, that was a monster hit. Panzer IV coming in from the side, runs over the M1 anti-tank mine. Oh, the M6 anti-tank mine. Bites the dust, remember that. Does 400 damage, and that Panzer IV was on probably half health, so that is death. And what a terrible time for that to happen, just as Dave calls in the Pershing. I think Heroicserv4nt kind of perhaps timed this a bit clumsily. Didn't seem to coordinate his troops coming around this way with his push with anti-tank guns through centre quite on the right timings. Still, as we can see here, Dave, from that very, very poor start he had, suffering quite far behind in terms of VPs. So despite the momentum being on Dave's side, Heroicserv4nt not out of this one yet. Interesting to see what unit he goes for next. I think the Stug's still a viable option. Tiger Ace is also a possibility. Of quite expensive in terms of pop cap though. It doesn't quite have the space. But he hasn't built a tank yet, so maybe he's going to go for the Tiger Ace. Also, I mean, taking tier 4 is of course a possibility, but I mean, not really that good for us here. Couple M1 shots, but he's about to lose all that veterancy on it. There it goes. Looks like his machine gun's slightly too far back. He's putting a lot of pressure on the VPs though. To his credit, Heroicserv4nt going for those VPs pretty hard. Dave coming around the side here with these flanking squads, going to get around the side of the machine gun. His tank gun now in a bit of trouble. Got squads closing in. Probably should have backed his anti-tank gun in this direction rather than down the negative cover road. M1 now being killed by the Pershing. Anti-tank gun gets cleared and Panzer IV has to back away. But yeah, I mean, he should have known that he had two squads in this direction. Would have been safer to back it in this direction, and also wouldn't have to be backing it down the road. Slightly like worse direction in terms of getting to your base for reinforcements and whatnot, but overall the better decision. It looks like he managed to recrew that M1 just before it got killed. Look at that weapon health, extremely low. As soon as it gets cleared, it will be dead unless he repairs it up. But a pretty successful push for Dave there. I think he's stopped the VP drain. He's putting pressure on his opponent's fuel. Not that it matters because Heroicserv4nt now floating a tremendous amount of fuel, but Dave probably doesn't 100% know that. But it does make me wonder, what is Heroicserv4nt doing? What is he going for next? He's had enough resources to go for any tier 3 tank for quite a while now. Which makes me think he is saving for the Tiger Ace. Tiger Ace does match up pretty well against the Pershing, but I mean, how much is he going to lose whilst he waits for the ace to arrive? That's the question. Stun grenade. Should allow him to win that engagement. There it goes. Getting some sandbags down. This is what you want to be doing at this stage of the game on your side of the VP, trying to get some fortifications cooking. Perhaps he also will on a fighting position covering this approach. I think that would actually work out quite well for Dave. So I don't think Heroicserv4nt's going to be able to get his packs or tanks down that far down. It'll be a bit too risky. Prevent this VP from being, and fuel from being harassed for, you know, no manpower tax, just a bit of upfront investment. Okay, well there's a regular mine. P4, I think it's going to die to one more shot from the Jackson. Jackson backing away though. CM20 still being a thorn in Heroicserv4nt's side. There's a lot of sight, I believe. Oh, that goes to the V1. But either way, it starts with quite high sight. I think it starts with, I think it's 45 sight. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we can see it. In fact, maybe we can do a wee demonstration. Look at that sight. Oops. Look how much sight it gives them. This is a lot of sight. Really useful for Jackson and Pershing. Get the most out of their range. This is why you want to keep your light vehicles into the late game. They do have utility, you know, maybe it's preventing harassments on the flanks. Maybe it's providing line of sight. Most light vehicles do have ability utility in the late game. Probably the only one that doesn't is the M3 scout car for Soviets. And the Dodge for US forces. I suppose they kind of work as troop transports, but nobody really uses them like that in the late game. Oh, Heroicserv4nt making a push. Try to cap those VPs. Looks like he's trying to save his way towards that Tiger Ace, getting there slowly but surely. Still hasn't got himself some minesweepers, and it looks like Dave put another mine down in the exact same spot. Unless the squad has a sweeper? Doesn't look like it's got a sweeper, does it? Ooh, big hit from the Pershing. That's going to be a wipe. And those are those kind of wipes you can expect when using the Pershing, doing 3 models in a hit. A bit of follow-up from your nearby units to get the wipe. But that once again is Heroicserv4nt kind of sending his stuff in quite far. Does expose him to those kind of wipes. Not what you want to have happening at this stage of the game when you're trying to save your Tiger Ace and trying to conserve as much manpower as possible. And one needs to about face. Nope. Opening up on the Pershing. No Sabot rounds from him. He actually doesn't have the munitions after popping that smoke. So this is not going to penetrate the Pershing reliably. Pershing goes for the white, gets it. And that's a pretty big collapse from Heroicserv4nt. Now he's camped up here, using the reinforcement off his front base. Doing quite a lot of damage to the Pershing. But that was a very successful push. Wiped out the M1, destroyed it this time. And imagine if he had a Stug doing that. Might have been able to take out this Jackson. Certainly would have stopped the aggression from Dave a lot earlier. Very surprised he hasn't gone for a weapon upgrade on this Grenadier squad. He's just been strapped for munitions. Throwing so many grenades. Using so many Panzer Tactician smokes. Oof, close to a wipe there for Dave. He now has upgraded grenades himself, which is good. You know, once you get weapon upgrades on all these squads, you might as well get grenades. And you can see his munitions income just rushing in. 62 a minute. That is insane. I'm going to plant more mines, which we still don't have a sweeper for. And there's the Tiger Ace. I think this is the wrong time to call him the Tiger Ace. You want to have 2 pioneers before you call him the Tiger Ace. Probably should have waited just a little bit longer, gone for an extra squad of pios before calling it in. As you can see, his manpower extremely low now after that Tiger Ace tax. Tiger Ace similar to a Vet 3 Tiger, but doesn't get the machine gun upgrade, but what it loses from the machine gun gains in the regular hull gun. Also has more health than the regular Tiger, and perhaps more sight, I think, as well. It's at a big price though. Heavy tax on the fuel and big tax on the manpower as well. Not that the fuel matters to Heroicserv4nt, floating 600. And whoa, he's dishing it out to this Pershing here.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Tiger Ace ripping in here. Jackson coming forwards. Gotta be careful though. Very hard to micro these kind of engagements. Jackson does outrange the Tiger by 10. But 10 range is quite hard to manage. He's gone for a second Jackson now to counter the Tiger Ace. Probably the right choice. Jackson opening up on the P4, which is big trouble. Now Jackson's trying to kill this anti-tank gun before it gets regrouped on. Quite but Pershing comes forward, gets the wipe on it. Big blows being traded between all these tanks, and it looks like the pack's going to be destroyed here. Yeah, I think Heroicserv4nt saving for the Tiger Ace was a pretty big mistake. I think you should have killed that M1 instead of stealing it. Gone for a stroke. And I think this would be a completely different game. Instead, he allowed Dave back into this game while, I mean, it took him, must have been like 12 minutes to save 800 manpower. Because he was bleeding quite a lot during all that. And, I mean, 12 minutes is a long time for your opponent to make a comeback whilst you save for a unit, you know? Meanwhile, Dave was, you know, keep making units. Whoops.
Send your orders.
Keep making Jacksons. Made all those team weapons. He invested a lot into everything. And Heroicserv4nt now. This is why you need 2 squads of pies. Before you get the Tiger Ace, he's got a lot of damaged vehicles. 1 squad of pies on only 2 models to repair them with. This is an absolute nightmare situation for us here. Remember, the Pioneers do repair quite slowly as well, compared to a few of those Western Front Army engineers, though I do hear that is one of the things that's being looked at to change. Western Front engineers receiving a repair speed nerf, which is fair enough. I think that's an important mechanic in the game when using heavy tanks. If they take a lot of damage, that they are out of commission for quite a long time being repaired. Otherwise damaging them does just about nothing. Kind of skews the medium tank versus heavy tank combat, makes heavy tanks a bit better. Because heavy tanks are essentially 2 medium tanks, so if there's a very close fight, but maybe 1 medium tank dies, the other one gets away on low, and the heavy tank also gets away on low. Obviously that's half of a heavy tank's cost gone for the player using medium tanks, and none of the cost of the heavy tank gone. If they can repair that up very quickly, it's a pretty big advantage. Anyway, here comes a big push from Dave. Jackson's coming in from one side, pushing up the middle. Tiger Ace in deep trouble. Panzer IV being back here repaired. No mines for Heroicserv4nt, remember. I don't think I've seen him play any tellers to try and prevent this kind of rash. Tiger Ace coming back in, kind of confusingly. Popping smoke, trying to go for the Jackson. Gets one of them, the Vet 01 though. Pershing and Vet 3 Jackson sticking in there. Tiger Ace bounces that shot. Panzer IV now joining the fun. Got a bazooka here available for fire as well. All main gun destroyed on the Pershing. Pershing goes down. These Rangers could have stolen this pack and probably would have secured the kill very easily right there. Ooh, one more shot and that Panzer IV is dead. Machine gun suppresses the squad. Oh, but a lucky attack round shot through the smoke. Takes down the Ace and he kills the pack. Yeah, I think Heroicserv4nt is also a bit confused about that shot. I don't know if that scattered long or what was going on there, but down goes the Tiger Ace. And with that, I think Dave obviously has quite a lot saved up here. Seems like he's got a superior army composition as well.
Combat unit ready for action.
Calls in a fresh Pershing. Panzer IV. I think this left Heroicserv4nt a bit shell-shocked. Very slow to repair this Panzer IV again. Not out of this one yet though. He's got the manpower tax lifted. Could pick up this bazooka as well. Ooh, could he? No, he's going to lose it. Yeah, as soon as he saw that fresh Pershing, he'd had enough. Well, we got to see the jeopardy of going for the Tigers there. I think Heroicserv4nt, he played so well in the early game, but kind of his medium tank play wasn't that impressive. No minesweeping. Losing that Panzer IV over here was a pretty big issue. He ran over a lot of mines, never got sweepers. And then when he went for the Tigers, just calling in and straight away once he hit 800 manpower, you have to have 2 pioneers to repair up your Tigers. Otherwise you just get wrecked. So misplay there as well, and going for the Tigers in the first place I think was a misplay. If he had 2 Panzer IVs and a Stug with his army composition at the time, I think he probably could have beaten Dave, at least on the VPs. If not through a full army victory. Well, I'll wrap on that, guys. If you like your game to be cast by me, details in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.